Bernie Sanders and Hillary Clinton now neck and neck in Iowa. A new poll out this morning showing Sanders at 45%. That's within 3 points of Hillary, meaning they are statistically tied. ABC's John Carl has the very latest from Des Moines. Good morning to you, John.
Good morning, Amy. With just 4 days to go until those Iowa caucuses, the battle between Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders is getting heated and personal. Overnight, before an overflow crowd in Mason City, Iowa, Bernie Sanders took this shot at Hillary Clinton.
My opponent is not in Iowa tonight. She is raising money from a Philadelphia investment firm.
The Clinton campaign hit back, noting that Hillary also met with nearly 50 African-American ministers from across the country while she was in Philadelphia. Clinton also called out Sanders for his recent attacks on her high speaking fees.
Senator Sanders has started to get increasingly personal with his attacks. He even compared me to Dick Cheney last week, which, is kind of a low blow.
Earlier in the day, Sanders was back in Washington, traveling to the White House to meet with the man he hopes to replace.
The president and I discussed this morning a number of issues.
Sanders emerged from the 45-minute meeting predicting that he can pull off an Iowa upset over Clinton.
If there is a large turnout, I think we win.
While President Obama has pledged he'll remain neutral in the race, Clinton is doing everything she can to embrace him.
I don't think President Obama gets the credit he deserves.
Thank you all.
But there are signs of Bernie Sanders' momentum everywhere in Iowa, even at this Clinton event at a small-town bowling alley.
I'm probably leaning 60% Bernie, 40% Hillary right now.
In the final stretch, the Clinton campaign is hoping for a big boost from Bill Clinton. In fact, the former president looks like a candidate himself out here. He has 13 events between now and the caucus. George, that means that Bill Clinton will actually be doing more campaign events in Iowa than Hillary Clinton.
My goodness, that's what he loves. We know that. Okay, John Carl, stand by. I'm here with Matt Dowd, right now our political analyst. We're going to get to the Democrats. But let's start out. Yesterday, you posed the question on Donald Trump. Would his refusal to go to the debate be seen as a sign of strength or weakness 24 hours later?
I think right now his supporters, when you look at all the supporters, his supporters are sticking with him through thick and thin in the course of this. So I don't think that's a problem at this point. It's interesting. Everybody that opposes Donald thinks it was a bad idea. Everybody that supports Donald thinks it was a good idea.
And meanwhile, at a minimum, he's owning the news cycle going into the debate and probably for the days after. But it poses a bit of a question tonight for Fox News, for Trump, and for the other candidates. No empty podium at the debate tonight. But how do the moderators and the other candidates handle Trump with him not on the stage?
Well, I think this is going to be a fascinating conversation because I think they may talk about Trump more now than they did if he was at the debate. I think Ted Cruz is more disappointed than Fox News that Donald Trump isn't at the debate because I think Ted Cruz, as the polls show, is now behind Donald Trump. Ted Cruz needs to start worrying about Marco Rubio. Marco Rubio now is starting to gain momentum in Iowa. And if he doesn't be careful, Marco Rubio could come up and finish second.
And John Carl, you just talked about the momentum for Bernie Sanders in Iowa right now. But that latest poll out this morning shows Hillary Clinton with a small lead, basically a dead heat right now in these final days. And you had that meeting with President Obama yesterday. He pretty much had to do that after seeming to put his thumb on the scale for Hillary earlier in the week.
Yeah, and the timing was really interesting, bringing Bernie Sanders off the campaign trail, at least for a little while, right before the Iowa caucuses. But yes, the president had to come out and show that he is keeping by his vow that he will be neutral in this race, even though clearly the Clinton campaign believes that if you went into that secret ballot, that President Obama would be voting for his former Secretary of State.
Meanwhile, Matthew Dowd, the Clinton campaign, has to worry about deja vu. They thought they had a lead going into the caucuses 8 years ago.
I think if they let Bernie Sanders win Iowa, he will win New Hampshire, and then this race totally resets, and it's in a different territory than they ever thought.
Okay, Matthew Dowd, John Carl, thanks very much.